Okay, so this video will be a guidance, okay, giving you some hints in to answering the questions in the quiz. Now, for question 2 to 4, I will not cover them because they should be something simple. Okay, so I will start giving the hints at question 5. Okay, question 5 and 6 refer to the photomicrograph below. But this photomicrograph shows the longitudinal section of a part of a dicot stem. Okay, so first of all, you have to identify what's P, Q, and R first. So P, you have the thickenings, you have the patterns here. So a thickening part in a stem, okay? So just deduce whether it's the xylem, phloem, or the cortex. Okay, I'm giving you enough hints. Okay, so deduce by yourself. Is P whether a xylem, phloem, or cortex, or Q or an R, right? Then with the correct identification, you should have no problem with question 5. Just finding the correct combinations of the functions of them. Then question 6 would be the tricky one. Now, question 6, compare with cell type R, cell type Q contains 1, 2, 3. So more mitochondria, it's nothing special, I won't cover it, but less starch and more sugars. So this is some tricky point. Now starch, whenever we, for this case, starch is a stable form for storage, right? And for sugars, usually when we're saying sugars, it's either be some monosaccharide or disaccharide. But of course, it's not the case, okay? In this case, more sugar, it could be glucose or glycogen. A form that's form for transportation. Okay, so this is the hint I will give you to distinguish statement 2 and 3, the difference between these statements. Then the next will be the long question. Actually, it's not that long. All questions below are carrying with low marks. Now, this electromicrograph shows part of the transverse section of a phloem tissue. So which means it either be the sieve tube or the companion cell. Right? So determine by yourself, cell X and Y, which one is sieve tube, which one is the companion cell. And it's very simple, right? So based on this photograph, the most obvious difference is the presence of this organelle. So what is this organelle? Okay, so question 7 identifies X and Y. Give reasons for your identifications. 3 marks. So first mark will be what X is. Second mark will be what Y is. Third mark will be the reasons. Okay, what's the difference? The difference results. The difference that leads to your identification. Okay, what I mean the difference means the difference between these two cells. Now second, number 8, state the roles of X and Y. So this you can check your textbook. Okay, find the functions of cell X and cell Y. Now the following questions will be a bit tricky, a bit difficult. This diagram shows a pot plant. One of its leaves was enclosed in a plastic bag containing carbon dioxide with radioactive carbon. Okay, I'll write as CR, like this, radioactive carbon. The plant was put under sunlight for 2 hours. Then the radioactivity in different parts of the plant was measured. The table below shows the results. Okay. Right. So the purpose of this question of introducing a radioactive carbon, okay? I think you somehow can sense that, okay? Now this enclosed leaf are absorbing a radioactive carbon in the form of CO2. I mean Cr, radioactive carbon, in the form of CO2. But at the end of the experiment, they found some, which means that, well, they measured radioactivity at the root, at the fruit, and the shoot, which means some Cr are found here, which is originally does not. Okay, the only input radioactive carbon is in this plastic bag. So initially there must be no radioactive carbon in the roots or in the soil. But at the end of the experiment, they found there is radioactive carbon in the soil and in the fruit. Right? So initially, I will repeat this. Initially, only this leaf absorbing radioactive carbon, and all other parts are clean. Okay? They are not absorbing radioactive carbon. But at the end of the experiment, they found in the roots, they found radioactive carbon in the roots. They found radioactive carbon in the fruit, and also in the shoot. Now what I mean shoot is including the leafy parts, the leaves, and stem. Now usually we use shoot, we are referring the leaves and stem of a freshly or newly grown plant. Okay, so which means the stem here and the leaf here, but excluding the fruit, All right. Let me go through briefly the numbers. So shoot having 1,020, 1,250, and fruits having the highest 8,000 and something, and then shoot with 900. Right. 9. Why is radioactivity detected in the shoot tip, fruit, and root of the plant? Shoot tip, fruit, and the root of the plant. So I just mentioned, right? So which means somehow the radioactive carbon absorbed by this leaf are transported to the root, to the shoot tip, to the fruit, and to the root. But how? Right? So let me put this down. Now initially in the leaf, it absorbs the radioactive carbon in the form of gas. But in what process and how is that transported in other parts of the plant? Okay, I'll just say this. And what form is this? Right? Okay, so 2 marks. Explain how the radioactive carbon are transported from the leaf to the other parts of the plant, and how, in what form is the carbon transported to the other parts of the plant. Okay, 2 marks. Then 1 point, how does the experiment show that the translocation of organic food in the plant is bidirectional. So bidirectional, it could be, so which means up and down. Up and down. So to show that, only one mark, and I think I have just given you the hint, okay, which means something going here, and then it has to go up and it has to go down. How can you tell from this data? Prove that the translocation of the organic food, organic nutrients are bidirectional. Okay, so shoot, including, oh, sorry, the question means the shoot tip. Okay, so this is the shoot tip. Right, so basically you have to compare. Oh no, I think I will stop here. Okay, I'm giving you too much hint, although it's only 1 mark. Correction. Okay, 11. Both the shoot tip and the fruit require a larger amount of organic food for growth. However, the radioactivity in the shoot tip is much lower than that of the fruit. Suggest a reason for this difference. Well, okay, so if I remember correctly, shoot is having 1,250 and fruit is having 8,000 something, right? The unit. And so account for that, account the difference, suggest a reason for this difference. So you may consider the fate of organic food in shoot tip and the fruit. Okay, so what will be the fate of organic food in shoot tip and what will be the fate of organic food in the fruit? Right? So if you can figure this out, if you can recall this, find this on the textbook, this shouldn't be a problem.